Hello and welcome, Dr. Trevor Miner, physical therapist here. If you're new or haven't yet, please consider subscribing. I cover topics such as home health, geriatrics, as well as general physical therapy topics like I am today. Now, with that being said, let's get started. The American Physical Therapy Association, or APTA, is the leading individual membership professional organization representing over 100,000 physical therapists, physical therapist assistants, and students of physical therapy. The APTA provides learning and educational resources for PTs and PTAs, in addition to creating position statements and public policy priorities. The APTA pushes public awareness campaigns such as Choose PT. The APTA actively lobbies for the priorities and policies that have been agreed upon. This advocacy primarily involves meeting with legislatures to provide arguments for the policies that the APTA has deemed most important. What the APTA is unable to do is contribute financially to support political candidates. This is due to federal law, which prohibits associations from using member dues to support political candidates. This is where the PT-PAC comes in. The Physical Therapy Political Action Committee, or PT-PAC, supports Friends of Physical Therapy who are running for United States Congress. Support is through disbursements to candidates' campaigns and to political or leadership committees that support the candidate's bid for election or re-election. The criteria for disbursements include, but are not limited to, the following: the candidate's support, position, and/or voting record on quality healthcare issues, including the role, recognition, representation, and reimbursement of physical therapists, to include federal, state, and local legislation, regulation, and policy actions. The candidate's relationship to an APTA member and/or APTA component, including APTA's grassroots key contact program. Formal recommendation by an APTA member and/or component. The candidate's leadership position, committee assignment, and incumbency, including his or her likelihood to hold a position in the future. The candidate's opponent, his or her record on these criteria, and the nature and strength of this opposition. The candidate's likelihood for success or election to a federal office. The candidate's party affiliation in relation to majority or minority. Bipartisan support of the major political parties. What you'll notice is that there's no political affiliation requirement or preference. In fact, in a review of the most recent cycle of contributions, Democrats received 52% and Republicans received 48%. The overarching criteria is that they support improving healthcare. So why should you contribute to the PT-PAC? I mean, your contributions could end up in the hands of someone who is on the other side of the political aisle. Well, because healthcare crosses the aisle. Healthcare is universally important, and with a blind eye to political affiliation, you'll find that there are people supportive of healthcare measures on all sides. Now, if you surveyed your colleagues, and I am not recommending that you do, you'd find that there are a variety of political beliefs and affiliations. The fact is that believing in a need for good healthcare is nonpartisan by nature. We've simply made it a partisan issue, and it really shouldn't be. While the lobbying done by the APTA is important and necessary, nothing motivates political candidates more than money. Large sums of money motivate candidates to act. That is a fact of the political landscape, and ignoring it will not change it. While the APTA listed over $56 million in assets at the end of 2018, not a single dollar can be used for political campaign contributions. Meanwhile, the PT-PAC receives about $600,000 a year in contributions, and that number has been decreasing in recent years. In 2018, only 5% of APTA members contributed to the PT-PAC. If we want to influence policies around physical therapy and healthcare, we need to be more wise with where we allocate our limited funds to influence policymakers. Now, I've been wanting to contribute to the PT-PAC for quite a while now. The issue is that I'm not a current APTA member. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have any issues with the APTA. The issue is that a few years ago, when my membership became due, I didn't have the $500 to allocate to renew my APTA membership. And since that time, thinking about allocating $500 hasn't felt like it was the right thing for me to do with my money. Conversely, when I look at what the PT PAC does and the ability we have to influence these policymakers, I do think that a contribution to them is very well founded. So here's the issue. The PT PAC is a separate segregated fund of the APTA, and separate segregated funds, or SSFs, are political committees established and administered by corporations, labor unions, membership organizations, or trade associations. These committees can solicit contributions only from individuals associated with a connected or sponsoring organization. This means the PT PAC can only solicit contributions from APTA members. Upon further investigation, I found this little gem. An SSF may accept an unsolicited contribution that is otherwise lawful, but the committee may not inform individuals outside the restricted class that unsolicited contributions are acceptable. Wow, that is some kind of law we have written there. So they can't say or admit that they can take contributions from non-APTA members, but they can if they want to. With this information, I sent an email to the PT PAC and indicated that I would like to make an unsolicited contribution. I was essentially told that they couldn't help me because I'm not a current APTA member. I had a similar result as well when I called. The next step was to write out a check to the PT PAC and mail it in. Now, I thought this might work, but I wasn't really sure. I figured, well, they could just choose to not deposit it. After 2 weeks, I hadn't seen the check clear at all, and I thought for sure they just tore it up and got rid of it. And then on day 15, I finally saw the check clear, and I thought, yes, I've done it. I have contributed to the PT PAC as a non-APTA member. So here's what I did. I wrote out the check to PT PAC, and I wrote contribution on the memo line. Then I sent the check to PT PAC 1111 North Fairfax, Alexandria, Virginia 22314. Now keep in mind that if you're going to contribute more than $200 in a calendar year, you should include your name, mailing address, occupation, and employer so that the PT PAC can meet FEC requirements. Now keep in mind that the maximum yearly contributions to a political action community top out at $5,000, so don't hold back. I'll include some relevant links for PT PAC expenditures listed below. Thank you so much for watching the video today, and please consider subscribing. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.